we met originally in the dorms. We're
Mhm.
both juniors here at the University of Oregon. I kind of just walked into my dorm one day and you were sitting on the ground. You kind of just appeared, and I'm grateful that you did.
Yes.
And one of the things we were reminiscing about before the show was
Mhm.
how we used to hang out 4 times a week, and now we hang out like once a month.
Yeah.
And kind of talking about, how much of that is us growing apart and how much of that is us just not living near each other
Yeah.
anymore. I'm curious for you in your life, what do you think plays a bigger role? Like actually maturing and growing apart from someone like as a person, or just literally not living next to them anymore?
Well, I think freshman year living in the dorm creates a lot of friendships of like close proximity. Um, and you're really only like friends with a lot of the people in your dorm because you basically live with them and you have to share everything with them. And it like forces you to be friendly and connect with the people that you live with. Otherwise, you're just not going to have a good experience freshman year. But like, obviously, that wasn't the case with like us and like all of the friends that we made in our dorm. And I think that that's like, once you don't live with someone, you have to make like a very conscious effort to reach out to them and to like keep connecting with them. Otherwise, it's just going to fizzle out because we don't live in like the same part of town anymore.
Not at all.
Not at all. So it's like really hard to see you unless I like see you on campus, which I do run into you on campus. Like, I feel like the past
You
few weeks
do.
I've been
You
running
have
into
seen
you a
me a lot.
lot.
Yeah.
But like a lot of the people that I was friends with in Carson, I'm still friends with them, but I just don't see them anymore.
Yeah.
And like my roommates now are my best friends. And it's partially because I see them every day, but also partially because those are the people that I consciously chose to live with and that knew I would want to see every day.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think it is hard growing up. Like I have a friend from high school. Shout out. That's my bestie. I have a friend from high school and after high school she moved to Hawaii to go to college. And now we only see each other like once every like 6 months maybe. But when we see each other it's like an instantaneous click. Like
Right.
we're best friends again. I mean, we're always best friends, but like it's like no time has passed when I see her. And I think that that's like a true connection.
Mm.
When you can go however much time without seeing someone and when you see them again it's like that's it.
Yeah. I feel like it's like 75-25. Like I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like 3/4 of it is like how close you live to someone. I
Yeah.
think that's particularly true when you're in high school and college, because there's kind of that pack mentality of like, I want to hang out with these people not just because I'm close to them, because I like their social security in that.
Yeah.
Like now I have these friends and I have these people to talk to and hang out with, like in the dorms or in the fraternity house or in high school.
Mhm.
And you're totally right that like I'm still friendly with these people. I'm still friends with them.
Mhm.
But when I don't run into them naturally,
Yeah.
it's just hard, right? I think so many people do the thing too, where it's like you see someone, you're like, oh my gosh, we need to catch up. We should
You never do that.
we should get coffee or
Yeah.
something. Never happens.
No.
Because putting in that conscious effort is just
Yeah.
difficult, and just people just don't really. We're just lazy creatures in
Yeah.
general, right? We don't want to do that.
Also, we have a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot going on right now. Not only in our personal lives, but like
Yeah.
it's exhausting out here.
Yeah. Especially in college, there's so many opportunities to do so many things
Yeah.
that going out of your way to see someone that you used to see all the time isn't, number one priority at all.
Yeah.
But you're right. There are definitely those friends that are like, you see them and it's like no time has passed. Like I think I
Yeah.
have that with Brendan for
Yeah.
sure. Of like, oh my God,
Are we
like
allowed to name drop on this pod?
you can name, yeah, as long as you think they're comfortable with it.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
can say whatever names you want.
Yeah.
You said Abraham Lincoln. I mean, you called him out. I don't believe that answer at all, by the way. No way that's the one person you would pick. That
You
was
told
a
me to go with the gut.
that was a panic answer.
No, can I scratch that from the record?
Please, go ahead.
Well, you can keep it in the video. But
Yeah.
Scratch it. One historical figure. Maybe like who's someone that could like have a really sick story?
It was like 1,000.
That's like not problematic. Also, that slims it down a lot.
That does slow it down a lot. Yeah,
Or maybe I would want to hang out with a problematic.
I feel like you would have a
just to,
fun
like,
time with I feel like you would want to like party with someone.
Yeah, maybe like. Well, did they have to be dead?
No, anyone.
I would hang out with Marilyn Monroe. She'd be fun to go
Really?
party with. Yeah,
Like young Marilyn
and I could
Monroe?
get that JFK lore.
Ooh, that's a good Marilyn Monroe.
Happy birthday.
Wow. The JFK lore. But yeah, I mean, when we're talking about friendships.
Yeah.
It's it's
Yeah.
it's tricky, but there's absolutely those people. I think about it a lot too for high school of
Yeah.
you just like you have your core high school friends and then you just don't see them anymore. And when
Yeah.
I see them back home, I mean, it's harder now when, when you're juniors, seniors, people have jobs and internships and people
Yeah.
just go different places, but especially freshman and sophomore year, it's like when you're back, it clicks like that,
Yeah.
right? And you're like, oh my gosh, we're so back for 80% of them at least, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, there's some people that change and you grow apart because
Yeah.
it's a very developmental part of our lives, but I think so much of it is just where you live. And I
Yeah.
think that or where you go to school. And I think people underestimate how important that is because that
Yeah.
really actually does determine your friends. Same with where you work too,
Yeah.
right? Where you work, your coworkers are going to be your friends.
Yeah.
What clubs you join, those people are going to end up being your friends.
I mean, it's also like right now we have the biggest pool for
Yeah.
like friendship possibilities or like romance possibilities or anything. Like we're never going to be exposed to this many people our age in such close proximity ever again.
Because of college.
Yeah, college.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like kind of overwhelming sometimes.
Yeah. Too many choices.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. You may have seen this or not. There's a cool study that shows like people buying jam and basically they had free samples, right? And in
Yeah.
one study they had like over 20, I think it was maybe 30 free samples of jam. It was like a ton.
Yeah.
And then almost nobody bought jam when there's 30 free samples. And then in the other sample control group, they had four or there was three or four.
Yeah.
And then like 30% of the people bought jam. And it was showing if you have too many options, it's
Yeah.
actually overwhelming and you
Yeah.
can't make a decision. And that definitely happens in college
Yeah.
for clubs or for people trying to date someone or for making friends or for choosing a class or a
Yeah.
major
Even
or a
finding
job.
your major. Yeah. Well, yeah.
I want to talk about female friendships a little bit because this is a
Okay.
topic I've never talked about on the podcast.
Yeah.
And I think it's pretty, common thing to say that like female friendships are more volatile than male
Mhm.
friendships, right? You guys get deeper, you get closer. I feel like you also like friendships end more often. There's more
Yeah.
drama. There's just more,
Yeah.
right? Why do you think that is?
I think there are a few reasons. Well, first of all, from like a lot of the male friendships that I've witnessed or like male friend groups, like they've all been friends forever.
Hmm.
And what's like keeping them together is like the loyalty and also the fact that you just like know these people, like you love these people. So why would you change it, you know? And like with women, not that I'm saying that that doesn't exist, but like I've seen it a lot less frequently that like friendships and like friend groups of girls don't really stick together as long or as consistently as male friend groups. And I think it is because like the friendships are more like emotionally connected and intertwined.
Yeah.
And like I rely on a lot of my friends for like emotional advice and I like really open up to them. So I've also been in friendships with girls where it feels like exclusivity is like a big deal to them. Like
you not having a bunch of other
yeah,
friends.
or like not a bunch of other close friends.
Hmm.
To where it feels like it's almost like a relationship.
Hmm.
I'm like, you're my friend, you're not my partner, you know? Like I need you to be here for me, to just like listen to me, to hang out. It's not the same like depth as you get in romantic relationships. But also some of my most valuable relationships are with women. And I think that they offer insight into my life and like a lot of my really close female friends right now. I hate saying female. A lot of my really close woman friends right now like know me so well. Like know me better than myself.
Hmm.
And so like I'll go home and I live with all my best friends right now. And I'll go home and I'll like tell them about my day or I'll tell them about like a bad interaction I had. And they'll answer me and they'll be like, "Well, maybe that person had a bad day." Or like, "Did you think about this?" Or like, "Yeah, that really sucks. I'm sorry that happened." You know? Versus like I'll talk to like a friend of mine that's a guy or like my boyfriend about it. And they'll be like, "Oh, shit, sorry."
Throw some Kobe Bryant quotes at you.
You know? Yeah.
Get back out there.
It's not the same like level of sympathy, which
and connection.
Yeah.
Or emotional intelligence.
Yeah. But I
Yeah.
don't think that means female friendships are more like valuable necessarily. I think
There's a different.
each friend serves a different purpose in your life.
Yeah. That's really interesting insight that you think that or you found that like women tend to want their friends to not have a ton of other friends.
Yeah.
Where it's like for me, I don't really care at all. And I
Yeah.
don't think most of my male friends care how many friends I have.
Yeah.
I
Well, it's
think
only specific kinds of like friends.
Right, but, like, best friends, like, I don't
There
like
is a certain like exclusivity. Sorry, I didn't mean to
no,
interrupt
please.
you. There is a certain exclusivity when it comes to like the term best friend. Because
Mm,
I have like 10 best friends and I refer to them all as my best friend. But
right,
like when I'm talking to one of my best friends about another one of my best friends, it's like, can I call her my best friend?
in front of this best friend.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't know what to do.
yeah. I think it's yeah, I think part of it I think it's a really interesting dynamic of you all just get deeper
Yeah.
than we do.
Yeah.
Like, there's much more ball busting on our end. It's also hard to tell when someone's being serious and when someone's not.
Yeah.
And I think that just gives you more ammo
Yeah.
of like, okay, I have more ammo to like help you, and I also have more ammo to hurt you,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. I mean, also just like the idea of like men not being allowed to be vulnerable or emotional goes a lot deeper than like what we could get into on this podcast. But I think that that also plays a role in like their friendships. Like I feel like a lot of men have the most valuable relationships with like their girlfriends or like friends that are women just because like they have a certain level of like vulnerability that they can't share with a lot of their guy friends. At
Yeah.
least from my observations, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like girlfriends for guys are kind of more like their therapist
Yeah.
because you can't get that. You don't really get that out of your friends
Yeah.
for most friend groups. And I feel like you kind of get that out of your friends.
Yeah.
Like it's more there's more therapeutic there.
Yeah.
And I
I'd
definitely
rather go to my girlfriends than a man
right
for advice.
for real. I mean,
Yeah.
and like I definitely get that out of some of my closer friends, but I don't think that's that common.
Yeah.
And I think it's a big issue for like I think I think I'm lucky to have a close group of friends
Yeah.
that I've known for a while, and then there's so many people out there that just don't have that tight group of people. Like it takes so long to get for guys to get comfortable to even have a deep conversation like that,
Yeah.
and for guys that didn't make friends freshman year
Mm.
or don't have those tight knit connections that they've been developing, for a while now,
Yeah.
like that can be really isolating.